going to go back. Scatterplots, yada. Here's our first one. This would be a positive. Very good. All right, second one. The shoe size and the salary of a teacher. Positive, negative, or no correlation. Y'all can say it out loud or in chat or unmute, whatever you want to do.
No correlation.
No. There is no graph. It's just the relationship that we're talking about. Good. I'll tell you right now, my shoe size does not depend on how much I get paid. That would be ridiculous if that were the case, wouldn't it? So in this case, this would be a no correlation. Good. What about this one? Hi, Daniel. Hold on. Let me tell you where you're seated. The purple seat in this row. And you don't have a device? Okay. And then I will broadcast for you, so at least you can follow along. And then I have a printed copy of the assignment for today, okay? Nope, that's not it. This is the one we're looking at. All right, so have we decided about this one? Positive, negative, or no correlation?
Positive.
Positive, I agree. Positive for sure. Because you can see that the line has a positive slope. Even though the dots are everywhere, that doesn't matter because it's just the relationship we're looking at. What about this one? Positive, negative, or no correlation? Good. Very good. Yes, I would agree. It's negative because this line has like a negative trend to it, right? Or a slope. Even though, again, there's points all over. Some of them are not a part of the graph. Those are what we call outliers. And so in this case, this would be a negative for sure. All right, next one. The amount of time you spend studying for a test and the score you receive. Positive, negative, or no correlation?
Positive.
Good, I do agree. This is positive. Because if you spend more time studying, it should typically improve your grade, correct? Oh, here. Sorry, Dan, you're probably going to have to remind me to change it. But yeah, it would definitely be a positive relationship because as one increases, so should the other. Yes? How about this one? Similar situation. Yeah, I agree. This would definitely be a negative because that trend is moving down that way. And of course, there's always, exceptions to the rule. But typically, the more time you spend playing video games, your grade average would probably tank. Some of y'all could probably speak true to that. Because I know video games are life right now. All right, what about this one? What do y'all think? Positive, negative, or no correlation? Good. Yes, I agree. This would definitely be positive. Think of it this way. The more time somebody works, the more tips they're likely to make, especially, if that's how they make their income is off of gratuity. That would definitely be a case or the case. Oh, this one. Person's height and the number of letters in their name. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm 5'8", I have 5 letters in my first name. I mean, there's no relationship. My parents weren't like, oh, she's going to be 5'8", so let's make sure she has 5 letters in her name, right? Same thing with all of you guys. It's not something that matters. So this would be no correlation. What about this one? Good. Generally, this is a positive. Yes. I mean, even though there's like this gap right here, but generally the points are all like kind of in a same grouping right there, right? And this one? This one's tricky. What are your thoughts? I can see, good. Yeah, there wouldn't be, I mean, if it's a horizontal line, think of it this way, the slope is 0. 0 means nothing, right? So that would be no correlation or no, you know. But also look at what we're comparing. We're comparing final exam scores and age. Should it matter how old someone is, what they get on their exam? No. True, but it depends on what the concept is. I mean, what if it's you know, it could be something that you're familiar with that I'm not, right? It can go both ways. This one I want you to read and think about. This one I'm not a fan of, but I want you to see if you can figure out, or I want us to talk about it at least. What are your thoughts? Anybody want to share with me what you think about this one? Say that again, Ethan. I didn't hear you.
I think it's both because we sell more hamburgers out of secret than.
Yeah, like it's kind of like you don't have enough information, right? Because it says the price of hamburger, but what about that? Like, is the price of hamburger increasing or decreasing? You know, we don't have enough information. It's like supply and demand, right? And even when you think about supply and demand, the price of hamburger can fluctuate. So wouldn't the amount of burgers also fluctuate? So if you think about it that way, then in that case there would be no correlation, right? So when you say it could be both, likely it's neither. It'll be a no correlation situation. Do y'all understand that? But this one is tricky. I don't like this one so much because, like I said already, it doesn't have enough information. But let's go ahead and say no correlation for this one because we need more information. All right. Think about this one. What do we have going on here?
I would say it's a positive correlation, and you gotta pay attention to the. It's not in order, so it's not like both of them are going opposites.
Very good point. So I'm going to prove something really quickly. So I'm going to talk about is some of y'all said none, but look, think about it this way. If I were to take this point and move it here, the 11 and then the 72 here, then it would fit. So really it's just out of order, right? And that's what Caleb was saying earlier. If I took these values and moved them to be in order, it would be a trend. I saw none and I saw positive. So what I'm going to do is actually create a table in Desmos to duplicate what we see there. So I'm going to transfer those values to a table. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to graph these coordinates for us. Oops, I pushed down too many times. All right, So our graph, of course, we'll have to zoom out, but you can see that the points have what kind of trend, what kind of correlation? Positive, yeah. And I hear, you say usually the height determines the size of the shoe, the taller the person, the bigger the shoe, the smaller the person, but obviously there will be exceptions to the rule. There could be little people with big feet, right? And that's why it's a scatter plot. It's not linear because it can kind of be all over the place. Yes? Do y'all see the difference there? And one thing sorry, Daniel, you can't see that part. All right, next one. Positive, negative, or none? Good, negative, I agree. Negative, you can see that line trends downward. What about here? Good. This one's a little bit tricky because some of you may want to say none, but it's actually a negative. It's a gradual negative, but it's definitely negative. And also, if you look at what's being compared, the number of missed classes with the exam score. If you miss more classes, are your scores going to go down? Absolutely. I mean, obviously, again, there are exceptions, but like the number of missed classes causes those exam scores to be a little bit lower and so on. You got to think about the fact that one causes the other to change. Okay? All right, this one. What do y'all think about this one? Aaron, sit up. I noticed some of y'all are getting lazy and now you're just typing a positive sign instead of the word positive. It cracks me up. Every class it's been like that. Huh? It is. I'm not saying it's not. This one actually is positive. Think of it this way. If I were to rewrite these in order, like if I took each point and wrote them in order, then they would be in ascending order. It's just they're all mixed up. So like this point would be the first one, then this one. Oh no, sorry. I went out of order a little bit there. It would be, wait a minute. I'm all out of whack. Come on, erase for me. It's not going to erase. Okay, let me switch colors then. I'll be smarter than you. So this would be 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And so if you look at the points, the test scores, they actually correspond in the same order. So then that's what would make it a positive. I didn't want to use Desmos again, but you can definitely rearrange those and make it work. Just so, all right, this is our last one. Good. I do agree. This would be a positive. I want to ask you a question, though. It's talking about size of the carats and the price. So obviously, we're talking about diamonds here. But would the size of the diamond affect the price? Typically, yes, right? So if you didn't know the size of the diamond and you knew that diamond was really expensive, you could assume what about the diamond? It's going to be big, right? So I want you to think that the size of the diamond causes the price.